What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 5 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Blood Dragons Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, a bunch of battles and yet another attack by the Witch Hunters culminated in a actual quest battle. A proper quest battle with a battle speech and a massive fight where Walach's army certainly struggled a little bit to survive against the massive number of elites that faced them. That said, he did manage to carry the day, and the Blood Chalice, his other unique item, legendary item, quest item, whatever, is now ours. Very, very nice. Pretty happy with that, and between the episodes, as promised, I took care of a couple of the little inferior minor battles, or inconsequential minor battles, so that we can now go on without having to worry about them. The goal for this particular episode is simple. Walach Harkon to Middenheim, and Abarash to Castle Drakenhof. They're both close, or relatively close to them, and they're just going to book it over there. Frankly, it looks like the Witch Hunters will attack us again before long, but, well, we're just going to have to deal. And on top of that, Abarash is right beside Scrag the Slaughterer now, so we can get another defeat trait and fight some ogres, my lord, for once, which should be fun as well. A little bit of variety. Or a little bit more variety, I should say. Since the last episode, we've been looking pretty good in that regard. Anyway, let's see what we got to do. Technology. We are going for... There was something I wanted, but I no longer remember the last... Oh, yes, the Order of the Blood Dragons. Passive ability Ordo Draconis for the Blood Dragon. Units basically powers Blood Dragons up via various means whenever they're engaged in melee, which is as it should be. Similar to the Hunger, I suppose, but with various other buffs. Otherwise, I believe we're ready to go. Oh, actually, no, we're not. Everybody needs to move. My bad. I got too excited to get straight into combat, which, well, I guess knowing me is par for the course as well. Anyway, Walach, I would like you... Oh. It would be slightly faster to reach Middenheim through Altdorf, or we could move through Talabaim, Arrays, and then go this way. The problem with going through the Talabaim route is that Ergig is right there, and we'd have to take 2 settlements effectively in order to get the 1. Though on the other hand, that may be good reason to destroy the Golden Order territories up here so that Gelt spawns to the south. Actually, wait. Or is there? Because we want Abarash to get into combat with Gelt, so now I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it would be better to go this way. Alright, fine. Let us go this way then. That's fine. We'll need to at least spend 1 turn recruiting additional Thrall Knights or Adept Knights, but that's fine as well. Alrighty. Turn around a teensy bit, maybe raise Karoberg while on the way there. Alright, well, look, you can't do anything with regards to your stances then. What we're going to want to do here is this. So Zacharias and Edmund, we're going to want to send Edmund around this way. Edmund has buffs for Graveguard, which means between him and possibly sending Teresia Gans this way with stronger binding for Graveguard and Black Knights buffs, he could be an army commander that uses those types of units. And I guess somebody will need to be able to hold Castle Drakenhof for now. Alright, fine. What we'll do for now...
A single enemy will remain.
...is swap some units around, like, let's say... So, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll get... let's take a couple of these skeleton warriors, keep a couple of those spears. 3 spears? That's gonna bother me. Alright, let's do that. We'll maybe build him some more spears. There we go. Then, you, sir, can get out of Nuln, and you can go into... Oh! You don't have an ambush stance. Wait, what? Neither one of you have an... Oh, wait, right. Our encamp stance is an ambush stance. I got confused. It happens on occasion. And you're gonna go into ambush, I guess, right here. Or, oh, actually, this is a regular encamp stance. This is not the hidden encampment like these guys have, huh? Interesting. Just out of curiosity. Yeah, hidden Blood Knight outpost, whereas these guys just have the regular encamp. Well, it's a shame that you can't ambush, because I was hoping to hit both of these guys, but what can you do? Alright, fine. You're gonna go into raiding then and get a little bit of free metal for us. You guys both stay right here for a little while. We get more witch hunters coming in, and then these two are at war with us. I guess if we really wanted to, we could put you both into raiding for now. You don't have to move towards Abarash immediately. And the rest of that looks good. Alright, Abarash, go into attacking Scrag the Slaughterer. He's currently at war with the pirates of Sartosa, and that's about it. Go.
First of the blood dragons.
Can't ask to declare war, but oh well. Alright, Pyrrhic victory with casualties high. Interesting, interesting. I suppose we could upgrade a few more units if we feel like it as well. We do have the Martial Valor available to us now. Get a few more Drakenhof Templars in there. And, huh. Wouldn't there be 5 things here? Could be a visual bug, though. We are... Okay, yeah, we're gonna need at least a little bit more cap. I was thinking about... Huh. Yeah, I wanted to take a look at the monstrous upgrades here. Maybe it's Abarash's army in particular that does that. Okay. No, it's all 3 here. Alright, let's do a battle. Maybe it's just a bug and it'll come back. What we want to go into Martial Valor, we'll go one of you. I could do 2, but I don't want to use all the Valor right now as... yeah. Let's upgrade you, sir. And actually, who has the most XP? I guess it doesn't really matter. You become a Drakenhof Templar. There we go. 3,800. We'll need to spare a little bit for our recruiting. And this should be more than enough to deal with some ogres, shouldn't it? It'll take some effort, especially as we don't have any actual knights in here. These guys are both anti-infantry as well, so we lack anti-large. What are you? You're also anti-infantry, the veteran warriors. I just want to take a quick look at what kind of units we have here. Blood Dragon vets are anti-large, so we could get 2 of these and 2 of these, for example. Spread it out between neophytes and Blood Dragon vets, but we also have some base anti-large out of the Depth Guard. And we could just double up on these if we really wanted to. So we could save all 4 of these, for example, and turn them into a Depth Guard as soon as we have the requisite number of Blood Kisses, which will be next turn. No, not next turn, 2 more turns or so. Alright, not too bad. We'll fight like this, should be fine. Before we get going, once again, the engagement threshold has been reached, and the episode will be an hour long, though the last episode was like an hour and a half or something like that, because I was just having too much fun. It's a great mod and a good sign, I think, when that happens. Anyway, the offer stands, though. We can now, well, with the 5th episode, so we can now lower the threshold slightly, 400 likes and 50 comments, and the next episode will be an hour long as well. Let's enjoy the show. Scrag, it's time to go.
The path beckons.
Alrighty, here we go. I like the little after effect of the wallpaper or whatever from the loading screen prior to the battle left behind. Anyway, here we go. Scrag and his blob of ogres. Before we do hit the old Scragamuffin, though, I do have one thing to quickly mention. Based on the comment left by the creator of the mod, there is apparently about 25 quest battles to be fought in this particular mod, which is a crazy amount. So you just wanted you guys to know, for those who don't read the comments of that and who aren't already familiar with the mod, if the difficulty and quality of the first quest battle was anything to go by, we're going to have a lot of fun, and apparently most of them are voiced as well. So lots and lots to look forward to. And for those concerned that some of the fights have been a little bit too easy against the starting point of the Empire, well, those 25 quests are certainly not going to be too easy. Anyway, we're heading directly for Scrag with Abarash. He's going to have to work his way through some ogres, though it looks like a few of the ogres have already engaged. They're going to... Did they just drop that Bone Crusher on themselves? I think they were looking to hurt the zombies a little bit, but I'm not sure that that quite worked out. Anyway, these are the Ogre Bulls with dual weapons, and they should be able to mince those zombies just fine, but we've got our own troops, including our new Drakenhof Templar warriors in here, and they should be able to hold the line with their melee defense being pretty darn high. What are we looking at here? 54 was it? 55, which is pretty darn high, as I was saying, and the enemy will blob up around them, which is exactly why we deployed this way. Speaking of the deployment, the Drakenhof Templars or Templar warriors, whatever, and the, I don't know, let's say half of our army are on this one flank, whereas the other side has our unit of Blood Dragon Neophytes and our Bloodkin warriors. They're just going to deploy themselves while these guys get held back. They're being led by the Bloodkin Aspirant, while Scrag is having probably a very tough time trying to do anything to Abaresh, who still has not lost his barrier. Damn, Scrag is a big boy, but he is a very hungry ogre. So that does make sense. Alright, trying to get through his own units, though he's down to half HP, and that unit wanted to back away from Abaresh a little bit, but having those two whack away at each other is probably going to take a while, so let's watch our Templehof warriors whack away at some ogres, with a little bit of help from our Blood Dragon Neophytes all the way over here as well. Couldn't spot them for a sec, but you can always see those great weapons from a distance. There we go. Now the ogres are having a difficult time dealing with anything. Our formation is holding and the enemy is getting bogged down by those skeletons. I'm sure that we will be taking damage on said skeletons due to the ogres, but that should be just fine. Our Black Knights have arrived as well. They were sort of riding around in the background waiting for the opportune moment to strike, and that opportune moment is when the ogres on this flank are damaged enough for the Black Knights to move on in and force them to rout and chase them down. Obviously, ogres run very fast, and standard infantry and probably even vampiric infantry are going to be just too slow to chase them down. So that's what the Black Knights will do instead. And by the looks of it, quite effectively. Abaresh is still looking pretty okay. Scrag has actually moved away from him, decided to go and, I don't know, throw a few bones in his stew. But that's not really going to save him, is it? I guess the boon for the ogres is that with all the mass of theirs, it's a little bit difficult to get Abaresh through them to try to get to Scrag. But he does make it there, and it looks like Scrag has reached his healing cap as well. We feel his pain, as it's certainly something that we've encountered many a time. He is going to start hitting back at Abaresh again, but will, by the looks of it, drop down fairly soon, especially with our Drakenhof Templars helping out as well. Alrighty, and it looks like he is routing now, attempting to escape, but he and his cauldron will both fall. I just think that Scrag's cauldron is sort of stays upright, whereas the cauldron of Festus sort of falls and spills over. Anyway, Scrag has fallen, but the rest of his army continues to fight, so all those Bloodkin units, skeletons and Blood Dragon warriors and Templehof warriors will have to overrun the enemy the old-fashioned way, and overrun them they shall. They will also continue getting heals up, so those units that got badly damaged, we will be able to heal up as we usually do. And it looks like the enemy army is having a pretty tough time. 90% bounce of power is in our favor. Our Black Knights continue to chase any units around, waiting to force a unit to shatter, and then switching out units. Looks like some Nobbler Trappers have decided to target the Bloodkin Aspirant here, and those Infinidaggers certainly start to dish out a bit of damage and have forced the healing cap to be reached as well. We're going to have to get the Bloodkin Aspirant out of there, and maybe even charge those trappers so that they stop that. And there we go, nice little charge, getting a little bit of the air on the trappers as well. Not as much as we'd like perhaps, but they won't win in a melee against the Black Knights either. And there we go, giving chase to those guys as well as the ogres, as well as the rest of the army, but not for long, as with the battle ending, this is a settlement battle, so we don't actually have to chase. Just gonna give it a few seconds to heal our Bloodkin Aspirant, and we're good. Thanks, Moore. You get pets. Alright, very nice, very nice. The Drakenhof Templars certainly did their job and held the line against those ogres, while the Blood Dragon Neophytes did the damage that they were supposed to. Scrag took a while to bring down, but at the end of the day, Abarash wasn't really threatened by his ogre retinue and wore the big boy down. Otherwise, we did take plenty of damage on various skeleton warriors. Our Black Knights and Bloodkin Thralls also did take damage throughout the course of the battle, but we did manage to keep them healed up. Our Bloodkin Aspirant did reach its healing cap, though, and did take quite a bit of damage, so I really gotta be careful with these guys as they are a little bit more on the fragile side, but they're also supposed to support, so there's that. We are going to, I guess, raise it. We need more metal. Always we need more metal. And there we go. Defeated Scrag gives us Winds of Magic Power Reserve Capacity +8 and a miscast base chance reduction, as well as whatever this Aaron Duelist gives us for this particular thing. Let's see. I'm going to be curious for every single one. Where is Scraggy? There's Vlad Leadership when fighting ogres and Weapon Strike when fighting. It's not that big of a deal. It's just ogre fighting. And sadly, we cannot go into raiding stance, so we're gonna go into hidden encampment. I guess we're heading to Drakenhof, and, well, at least we're approaching. Now, we obviously don't want Chaff and Abarash's army, so we can freely get rid of the zombies at least and get a couple of those Bloodkin up and running. Just gotta be careful about the cost and the valor, as we don't want to run out again. Now, do we want to build any buildings in Abarash's army? We are free to upgrade the Blood Dragon Quarter here, which we can certainly afford now that we have the scales. And by doing so, we will be able to get the Thrall Knight Tent and thereby get Bloodkin Thrall Adepts as well. Which is certainly something that I wanted to... there we go, now it's all 5. I want to get some Blood Dragon Cataphracti. Well, all 3 of these are monstrous units. I don't think Abarash needs or wants monsters in his army, just regular vampires. But we can certainly put Cataphracti in Walach's army and then other monsters in other armies as well. I think that'll be the way to do it. So, that is what we shall do. Let's upgrade you. And I believe we're good to end the turn. Yes, yes. Okay, there's nothing to build or upgrade here. Still waiting on this upgrade. Just a little bit more growth, though the rating is reducing it a little bit. But what can you do? It'll be worth it in the end. You want to increase the capacity for Blood Dragon champions? I do want another champion in Walach's army in particular, since he's all Blood Dragon focused. But anyway, for now, skip unassigned skill points, buildings, and the turn. And gotta get to Tempelhof and then to Drakenhof. I mean, I guess we could raise Fort Oberstar. I'm just... all this raising is... What if we sack Tempelhof, backtrack to raise Oberstar? Might be the way to do it. Peace treaty? No. We get a library here, and I see Vladi has returned once again. You can't keep a good vamp down. And I do mean relatively good vamp. Anyway, Abarash has Ambuscator. Sure. Let's see. I can immediately upgrade you to level 4, but there's no need. And, damn. That plan's not gonna work. I was hoping to sack Drakenhof and then backtrack to raise Oberstar. I guess we could do it the other way, but the sack value of Oberstar is basically nothing. But what can you do? What about over here? And these guys I see have not moved, and they're not fighting each other. They're sort of just hanging around, waiting to fight these guys. Lead them dry. We do have to be careful here, as there are a lot of troops, but this does mean we might be able to force a nice actual fight. Barrow Legion are here. That's neat. We're not going to waste our time with them, though. We are going to head to Middenheim, which we should be able to reach in, by the looks of it, 2 turns. Alright, fine. Go, go, go. Weissmund has been destroyed. There's a Beastman Bloodground nearby. Well. But anyway, what we want to do is you get 1, 2, 3 Bloodkin Thrall Adept Knights. Why 3? We're going to leave 1 space for a Blood Dragon champion. Running out of cash once again, though. We got to keep it up so that we can afford the Blood Citadel in order to get the Blood Keep library. Alright, how's our Blood Kisses looking? It's at 3, which ain't too bad. I think this is going to be a pretty big old fight, so I think we should do it. Although, wait, these guys aren't at war with each other, so they'd actually help each other out if we were to strike at them, wouldn't they? You know what I can't tell? I can't tell if Karl is close enough to Dodenbach to actually reinforce it. Which is kind of annoying. I guess we risk it anyway. Or we could just try to attack this guy, but then... Oh, we can't actually reach him. We have to either go for Karl, which will send this force against us, and I would do this except for the fact that all of these orcs would then escape off field, because we just don't have the numbers to chase them down, together with the Imperial troops, which is the big annoyance here. And I can't quite leave Nuln. Alright, fine. Let's go to Dodenbach and see. Karl is indeed nearby. Alright, well that works for us. Then he's going to reinforce. We're going to move Zacharias in for a big old fight. And just hope that Vicious doesn't... Oh, actually, it looks like he can't reach Nuln. Oh, actually, he's probably still can because of the encamp stance. Maybe he'll go for one of these guys, or maybe we'll march stance and return to Nuln. Let's go into regular stance for you, and you're in regular stance already. Alright, Edmund von Sinclair, excited to get you into combat as well. For those of you who watched my Vlad and Isabella campaign, you may remember Bathilda von Sinclair, who was the legend of that campaign. A very fighty Lamian who burned her way across the Badlands and across Nehekar and across pretty much half of the world. And yeah, will always be a recurring character on the channel, so I'd like to think that her own little mini bloodline continues, or her own family at least does. Anyway, close victory, medium casualties, a ton of Empire troops, basic mind you, but most of our troops are basic as well. Let's get to it. Alrighty, the weak shall perish. Edmund von Sinclair looking pretty darn good, and I can't wait to see him in combat as well. Doesn't look quite as big as Zacharias looks, and I'm interested in the fact that his mace is equipped at his side. Will he use the mace at all, or is it just there as a sidearm? Maybe he uses the mace when he's not mounted. I'd be curious to find out. Might even take him off the mount just to try to figure that out. Anyway, we're going to head on into the enemy army as quickly as we can, as Karl is arriving with the main enemy force, and we have to actually be reasonably careful here. Obviously, our army is primarily basic troops, and thus we're actually going to have to work for our victory. Oh, there we go. And our elite-most troops are only Bloodkin Thralls as well as Black Knights, with the rest being all skeletons and such. So, yeah, definitely an enemy that can threaten us here. We are going to, in fact, run ahead of the zombie or the skeleton pile, and we're not even going to send those in directly at this first force. We're just going to get the Bloodkin Thralls to engage all of the units that we can, and then hit them all in the back with the Black Knights. Once again, the hope is to shatter this first enemy army quickly, and then spend the time chasing them down with our units of Black Knights, while we then move the Bloodkin Thralls to join the rest of the melee troops. Charge into the back of as many enemy units as we can. Damn! He freaking charged right through 3 units. Wow, that was quite impressive. What is your mass at? Just out of curiosity, I was expecting to get stuck way earlier. 2.5k, yeah, okay, yeah, I can see why. I can see why that worked as well as it did. I gotta keep in mind that he can do that. Very impressive. And that was a heck of a charge, and still getting some air with the Black Knights in the background, but it looks like this first army has pretty much shattered, with only a single unit remaining. Mr. Von Sinclair is going to start taking care of those guys, awaiting the arrival of more Black Knights. Alright, looks like these guys' souls are leaving their bodies already. This is the effect of Melkot's mystifying miasma, but it's the psychic siphoning that's borrowing the effect. It does make sense for a siphoning. And there we go. Here come the Black Knights right into those spears who are going to waver. Faster and stronger enemies nearby. Well, that's always been the case since the start of the battle. I like how easy it is to pick Edmund out from the rest of our troops because of the different barding and armor color here. Alright, and it looks like this last unit will rout and right on time as Karl Franz with his main force has arrived on the field. Plenty of Empire State troops and to deal with, and a decent amount of range units as well, which we will have to be at least somewhat wary of, and perhaps it would be better for the enemy blob to engage our pile of skeletons and bloodkin, and then send the Black Knights to deal with the enemy range. Fortunately, the Black Knights have a little bit of work to do here, though, since this army is part of the garrison, we don't actually have to destroy them, we merely have to shatter them. And on top of that, we got a reinforcement. Zacharias has arrived on the field as well. Can't leave him out, and he also looks absolutely fantastic. You gotta love the Blood Dragon Lords. Am I biased? Maybe I'm a little biased, but what can you do? We all have our biases, folks, and mine is for the Blood Dragons. Anyway, let's move on in. Looks like Karl moves to duel both Zacharias and Edmund. Zacharias charges him and sends him flying, as Karl doesn't have a mount, unfortunately for him. Doesn't have quite the level to get Deathclaw on the field. While that's not going to go so well for him, it does look like Galmaraz will send plenty of those Skelly boys flying. He is still surrounded, and I imagine that Zach should be able to take him in combat. In the meantime, the Black Knights are getting ready to move in. The enemy has a decent pile of range units in the back, but now that all their melee are engaged, we can hit those poor archers and huntsmen and whatever the enemy has from both sides. And there we go. And they go flying. These may not be the charges of Blood Knights, but against the basic units, the Black Knights should be more than sufficient here. And with that, the entire enemy backline of range units is engaged. They will get no mileage out of any of those Free Company militia or archers or whatever. And as soon as they've been chased down and destroyed, we can join the Bloodkin and the Skeletons in a glorious melee combat. And how's Karl looking, by the way? Pretty bad. He just died. Well, not to worry. We've seen him go down, I think, twice already, and I'm sure we'll see him go down a couple more times yet. Laneshi giggle. But for now, we'll destroy the rest of his force. Alright, state troops are still holding. They do have an Arch-Elector with them as well from the 2nd Reinforcing Army, so we will have to kill off him as well as rout the rest of their troops. Looks like the Bloodkin are doing fairly well. We can see the giant pile of corpses beneath them. And we're keeping them nice and relatively healed up. We do still have the hunger on them, or all-consuming hunger on them as well. And soon the Black Knights will be done in the back line and will be able to join the fray as well. Speaking of joining the fray, the forces that Zacharias has brought are moving in as well, and now the enemy is truly feeling what it means to fight the undead. The numberless hordes of skeletons and zombies surrounding their army from every side, and will soon overrun them, though they are brave to hold. Mere mortal men, and all that. Arch-Elector is now facing off against vampires. Vampires, of course, are weak against holy symbols, but I don't think the Arch-Elector is pious enough to do this. I like the stabbing animations from these guys as well, as in Zach and Edmund there. Zach and Ed. Hey, Arch-Elector, leave the Bloodkin alone. I know you can't kill the lords, but leave the Bloodkin alone, and there we go. The Black Knights have now finally finished off the enemy range line and charge into the rear of the enemy line, and with the rear charges to both parts of the enemy line, they get overrun and destroyed. There we go. Battle is ours. We'll chase down the Archlector. We'll chase down the rest of the enemy army. And great job to these two for working together. And not to worry, well, the first of our few armies will be well, I was about to say mono-god or mono-order, I guess. We're not chaos. There'll be mono-order, but we will do various mixes of the orders as well. Plus, we still have lots of monstrous units and different types of units to unlock, to look forward to, and the exotic units of various types as well. Should be pretty neat. Anyway, I was just watching those animations. We got a lot of chasing to do, and we can do that, at least, off-screen. Alright, there we go. Very, very nice indeed. Looks like we only got about 100 losses, though of course this is an illusion. Probably closer to about 1,000 of our skeletons and some of our bloodkin all lost throughout the actual battle, but with judicious application of our favorite invocation, the Invocation of Nahek, we were able to get all of those guys pretty much healed up and the dead raised while we were chasing Karl Franz's force down. So it all worked out in the end. This is also a good showcase, I think, of just the strength of vampire counts in general. Even though we were outnumbered, we were still able to drown the enemy in bodies, and we didn't have these super elites. We didn't have Abaresh, we didn't have Walach, we didn't have high-level lords or casters, no damaging spells, and no elite units whatsoever, really, and still obliterated the enemy without trouble. Gotta love Raised Dead, or not Raised Dead, but healing in general, but also gotta love Raised Dead. Anyway, got a decent amount of cash out of it, a decent amount of money, and a Helm of Discord as well. We are going to... I wanted to raise it, but I wonder if we'd be able to reach Mr. Vicious and fight those Orcs as well, as bringing them down would be swell. Sack it first, and then... You're not gonna move? Oh, fantastic. No. Oh, now you move, you little... Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Alright, you can reach Vicious. I fear, though, that he won't fight. But that may not be the worst thing in the world. Actually, he might with all of these guys are nearby. Anyway, unit experience gain plus 10 from defeating Karl Franz's army as well. Great and worthy act for Edmund rather, and a banner of eternal flame for Zacharias. What do we have here? 10 ward save for Graveguard units. We really need to get that Graveguard building here. Obviously, we can recruit them, or soon we'll be able to recruit them out of Wallach's army, but the problem there is... Oh! These guys take 2 turns to recruit? Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought that they would take 1. I should have read this. Okay, let's not do that then. Okay, just get 4 zombies. For now. We'll delete the zombies and then we'll go here and then we'll recruit them. Is there a way to reduce the recruitment time for these guys? Not that I can see, at least not here. Alright, well, it is what it is. Yes, we'll want to get the elite cemetery here, but we... Wait, what are we lacking here? You cannot construct this building before constructing the prior building. Yes, we can. It's right there. Yeah, there's the Graveguard building, though frankly, we probably wouldn't be able to afford Graveguard recruitment costs right now anyway. Ooh, gotta get that Crimson Cauldron up and running, though, but we do need the metal for it. Anyway, a few things we gotta do before heading into Prince Ograx the Great. PH. Okay, so we know where we're sending Abaresh at the very least. Gotta activate another one of these, and it looks like Archie has sent his favored lieutenant to deal with us. I want to go to the orders thing, and then awaken you to level 2. Which gives us another one of these Abyssal Riptide destinations, which is swell. We're going to be spreading all over the world in the next couple of episodes as we head through the Riptides, as we get the libraries here, as we won't need everybody here. Though I imagine Abarash will still wander around near Imperial territory for a while he racks up the legendary lords and defeat traits. Anyway, Zacharias, I'm going to move you in a second. Abarash, I'd like to start with you, sir.
The path beckons.
Okay. Didn't mean to do that. Let's go to Fort Oberstar.
Face me, that I may
Hopefully
know
the
us.
Autoresolve doesn't screw us over here. A little bit of damage. And then sack this, and stop moving. Alright, income from sacking settlements plus 4%, swell. We are then going to go to Castle Templehof.
Their skill. For the path.
There's another stack over here, and Autoresolve this, which will hurt us a little bit more. What can you do? And this one, we do want the money. We can always come back and raise it later. Fine, second for now, and stop moving. I was hoping we'd be able to reach the worthy foe encounter here right now, but oh well. You go here between these territories and then heal up a teensy bit, rather than raising or doing anything else. We're so close to Castle Drakenhof. I don't know if Goldmine does anything for us. Are we able to build it at all? All right, we gotta reach that this episode. Any buildings that we need to be building? Yes to the Thrall Knight tent, but no to the metal in the sense that we can't afford it as yet. We could get another Thrall or an aspirant, but I think while we do want one, we don't necessarily want one for Abarash's army, because he already has one.
The path beckons.
And I'm still unsure whether we're going to turn this guy to be one of these. Decent likelihood that we will, but he'd lose the discipline trait then, wouldn't he? Which I kind of like in here. I have to think about that. Anyway, I want one of these for one of the other armies. Let's say Perceptive doesn't actually work. Let's go with Confident, but we're going to swap you into a different type of hero soon anyway. And then you can move all the way over here to join one of these guys. Simply because we can't raise those guys from any of these armies. And now we see whether this works. I'm 99% certain this guy's gonna run, but let's hope not. You're gonna go right here. You can still reach him, yes? Yes. Alright, let's level up and then let's go. You, only 2 level ups, but you haven't been on the field all that long. Let us get you... Alright, so the Drakenhof Templar Lord's magics look rather pretty stunted as well. The Lord of Undeath projects an aura of dominion that can wilt the most iron-willed mortals, gives us melee attack and 6, melee attack 6 and leadership reduction 8 aura. But yeah, this guy isn't much of a caster, and we'll certainly need an actual caster to back him up, as Penumbral Pendulum alone and Invocation of the Eternal Wanderer without Curse of Undeath is not going to be all that helpful. Smoke and Mirrors is garbage outside of SFO, or at the very least it's not great. I mean, 10 speed is fine, but you're casting shadow spells rarely enough to not get too much value out of this, and I've never been a huge fan of Melkoth's either for its cost. Well, either way, let's get... I mean, I guess we do want to get the Warriors of the Wandering Path on everybody, so we still have to get this, so... Yeah, keep stacking that on every single lord. You already have it maxed out, though. You can get Heart Piercing, and that's all you can get. So, move on in, let's see if Mr. Vicious is willing to fight. And indeed he is... what? Oh, the other army was out of range? Oh, you gotta be kidding me, what the heck? That was weird. Okay, I must have moved it incorrectly. I'm disappointed. I screwed that up. Well, that's unfortunate. And you definitely can't reach him? No, you can't. But look, they can... the heck? Oh. This guy, when attacking, can reach, but this guy can't. Oh, I guess what I did is I moved this... I moved Edmund to the circle of Conrad, but not to the circle of Vicious. Which is a shame. A crying shame. But at least they can defend each other from here. You can, I guess, go into channeling stance, because there is no other stance for you. Alright, well, just stay there. Stay there and we'll see if anybody does anything about this. I guess we're ending the turn then. Yes, looks like a yes to me. Just to double check, we're not going to build these buildings. I want Nuln upgraded. Really hope this guy doesn't go for Nuln. since we can't get back to it now, I guess we could spend Valor to raise a Lord there, but, well, if it happens, it happens. I don't think we care enough about it at the current time. Building upgrades and assign skills in turn. And let's find out. And then head to Drakenhof, of course. And Middenheim. And Ambush with Abarash, and hello, Nikolaus von Sinclair. Alright, you have a single Drakenhof Templar, but you got a couple of Crypt Horrors and a couple of Vargeists, and not a bad army. I would wager. The problem with this, I think, is the fact that this will unencamp us, which means our army won't heal, which ain't great. But nonetheless, we're gonna fight, go. Alrighty, here we go. You know, I'm very happy with the variety in this episode so far. We've had ogres, we've had our non-elite basic troops face off against the Imperial State troops. We got one of these rare ambushes going for us as well. And, well, we'll see what else we can find today. Now, ambush is going to go quick, so usually I like to explain these real quick in terms of the setup. We have all of our Black Knights hidden in this copse of trees. The idea here is that the Bloodkin and the Skeleton Warriors together will engage the vast majority of the enemy line, and once the enemy are stopped and unable to maneuver, all of the Black Knights will hit them in the rear. All of our own elites, all four, the Drakenhof Templar Warriors and Blood Dragon Neophyte Warriors, plus an additional unit or two of Bloodkin, are deployed at the rear of the column. Idea is we need to destroy the Corpse Cart and the Crypt Horrors. The Corpse Carts and Crypt Horrors are absolutely key to success of Vampire Count's armies, and I have a healthy respect for them, having used them countless times in combination myself, so these are what we'll be destroying, and then hopefully the Vargeists will land among our troops as well, only to get destroyed by our elites, rather than, well, destroying our not-so-elites. And as usual, Abarash will head directly towards the enemy lord, or towards Isabella, as, well, whichever happens. Anyway, the dead will fight the dead as the Bloodkin and the skeletons hit the zombies and the skeletons, and the battle begins. Over in the rear column, however, is where the battle will most likely be decided. The Vargeists do indeed land to help their ghoulish friends. And I'm just going to try to get some nice shots. Kind of an interesting dichotomy, I guess, here. Vargeists are essentially tortured vampires, or derived, let's say, from vampires, fed a starvation diet of warpstone water. Whereas Crypt Horrors are not vampires at all, they're ghouls that have been given vampiric blood. In some ways, I suppose you could say that that is still derived from vampires to some degree. And the way that Vampire Count's monsters do tend to be. But anyway, Crypt Horrors and Vargeists are both having a fairly bad time. First unit of Crypt Horrors has been pretty much brought down, and the first unit of Vargeists destroyed by our elites, and now it's time to mob the rest. The way that this happened really works out well for us, as usually the Vampire Count's armies are supposed to intersperse those monstrous infantry Crypt Horrors among the piles of zombies and skeletons, allowing them to fight for that much longer. But here, they will not, and they will not apply their poison either. I do believe Abarash has defeated Isabella von Karstein one more time, and will now be facing off again. Oh, actually, no, she's still here. But she is badly damaged and has reached her healing cap. And we'll be fighting both the enemy lords, though it looks like the rear of the column is ours, and it looks like the center of the column has pretty much collapsed, with our Black Knights having forced the enemy to crumble away. Bunch of dire doggos over in the background as well, facing up against the Bloodkin, but alas for the doggos, which are a very decently effective unit for their cost. Not perhaps as much as Hounds of Pestilence for Chaos, but decently effective for chasing units and hurting weak units. They're not going to do anything to the armored Bloodkin due to their lack of armor piercing. Anyway, now it looks like Isabella is down to less than half HP, and her healing cap continues to drop. She calls her her companion here, Nikolaus. How dare you use Noctilus's name? He's not gonna like that. Anyway, the both of them try to fight Abarash, but fail to really hurt him. Abarash activates his abilities and will soon be bringing Isabella down as well. Well, she's certainly staying around for a while. Does she have her chalice? Oh, she does have the Blood Chalice of Bathory. Okay. I was wondering. I think, wait, if she's a hero, I think I think when she's a hero, she starts with the Blood Chalice. But anyway, she drops once more, though I'm sure we'll see her again before long, and Abarash heads towards the enemy lord. There are no enemy army units remaining, I believe, as they were all obliterated by ours, and it looks like the enemy lord will run away rather than face Abarash in combat. And by run away, I mean run and then crumble to dust as he runs. Alright, there we go. One of our chaff units died, but returned once again. Lovely, lovely. And we'll take the money for our trouble. Not a problem at all, but it's nice to get these ambush battles on occasion. Unfortunate that it breaks our encampment, but, well, I suppose there's not much we can do about it. And we are looking good. 161, another Book of Arcane, which we can certainly put to use, and there's that passive ability, Ordo and Draconis, available. We'll want to briefly... I'll have to head around Castle Templehof, or we just raise it this turn and then head to Drakenhof next turn. Probably that's the way to do it. Let's do this. You're gonna go here, you're gonna activate this thing. Like so, right to battle. Let's see what this one does for us. Martial Valor plus 1000, Warrior Ascendant Gear, Heart Piercer, Lance of Shattered, Keep, item, attribute Unbreakable. Decent on vampires, but otherwise the item is kind of meh for a weapon, I would say. Enemy, ooh, Coronate Forces, though, considering the magical damage we can deal, and the blood letters are going to be very vulnerable to us, though we do like the range damage. Anyway, Bloodkin, now that we've awakened the Ordo, require technology, we still have to do the tech research. Damn, I was hoping to get them on the field right now, but we'll need Enfeeble first. Alright, that's fine. Not to worry, we'll get Enfeeble as soon as we can. Okay, let's screw that up. Just out of curiosity. Do these guys need a separate one, or are these just a side grade to the Depth Guard Ravagers? I want all the different types of units in Abarash's army, but anyway. Erase this real quick.
For the path.
I don't care enough about the skeleton to bother fighting this. I'll let it die. I'll just let it die. And erase it for, still 3 precious metal. Nice. And don't move that way. No, stop. Okay. Go into encamp, please, and then hopefully heal up this time around, and then head to Drakenhof. Might have to go through Eschen, but that's fine. Alrighty, nearly there. So darn close. We do have enough precious metal to now get the Bloodkin Thrall out of Knights here. Or we could go for the next tier of Blood Dragon War Camp, which would allow us to build the Disciples of Abarash camp. There's certainly potential for that. Anyway, but for now, though, Bathilda, you're going to move here. We also do have money to spend, and aha! This guy moved here. Well, that's curious. Certainly not what I was expecting out of him. There's no way that you can strike at Nuln, right? Not with the armies that you currently have. Oh, I see another little army here, though. I kind of want to fight the orcs. I don't think it's going to be a difficult battle or anything, but it's just kind of for entertainment purposes. Oh, but they would run, wouldn't they? I'll chase them down anyway, see where they go. Oh, they won't run this time. This says it's low casualties. 67 leadership. Do we bother with this? I mean, we fought against piles of basic troops like this many a time. You know what? I think I'd rather move towards raising the Ordos up. So let's just auto-resolve these guys. Yeah, not too bad. And take the money. Alright, very nice, very nice. Then,
Dragon champion.
I wonder if you'd be able to reach this guy if this was destroyed. By the looks of it, no. Oh. Actually, yes. But then we wouldn't be able to raise Dotternbach because Boris here would destroy it. Alright, that's fine. We'll move you here. We have to get back to Nuln basically anyway, as the Witch Hunters be coming anyway. And, ooh, speaking of Nuln, we can finally raise it to level 3. Beautiful. And you know what? We'll save the metal to immediately upgrade the Bloodkeep library. And a Library Guardian quest battle will become available. I'm excited to do another quest. Oh, damn, you are interfering. Go here?
Marching. Ordo champion.
There we go. Alright, just gonna quickly auto-resolve this guy and then move on to the next turn. Alright, auto-resolve you. Alright, and take the money again. Very nice, very nice. Can any of you raid? You can channel, but you cannot raid. I would like you to be near Nuln, though, just in case it gets attacked by something. In fact, you can go into Nuln itself. Let's say you. Alright. Stick around for a little while. We do have Witch Hunters. Dawnstone available. Walach, can you reach Middenheim? And wait, is this Defiled Blood Grounds cannot colonize until we destroy Middenstag? Alright, so Middenstag will be on the menu next. Let's go right here. And raise it. We're probably going to take up... Oh, hopefully the plague ends over the next turn, and then we'll recruit Middenheim right after. We also do want to defeat Festus with Abarash, so we gotta make sure to not destroy his faction. This is still 2, right? Yes, everything's hilarious, Walach. Everything's hilarious indeed. What do we have in terms of defenses here? Nothing, it's a tier 1, so that's fine. Abarash is good. We're ready to end the turn by the looks of it to maintain money. You know what? Let's upgrade this. It's 8,000 gold. We'll still have the 10k requisite or necessary to build up Null. I see Vlad's moving up here somewhere. Gotta make sure he doesn't kill off the Golden Order, though. You also want to upgrade to tier 4. And we gotta get this thing up and running, but we have limited amounts of money. I get it anyway. We're gonna need it. And go for this. And I think that's it, that's all. We could also raise some capacities, but right now it's not a big deal. I mean, we'll raise capacities for the Depth Guard next turn, because we'll need to get them on the field pretty much immediately. And everybody else is fine. I guess neither of you can... No, actually, you can swap stances. But you can't recruit anything here until we build a little something. We still do want the Thrall Bastion, but we can't afford the metal right now. And we have no population surplus, so we can't really build anything. Alright, fine. Skip. And then the turn. You could also recruit Black Knights instead of what Walach has, but I'd rather preserve the cash. As it currently is. Reikland. You want peace, do ya? Is this their last territory? Oh my. Basically destroyed them, huh? Do we want to actually destroy them, I guess, is the question. We can always raid them here. I don't like how they're right beside Nuln, though. It'll mean that they're always ready to just suddenly attack us. Actually surprised that they haven't gotten confederated by somebody. 2.7k. Would keep us from dealing with at least Reikland itself for a turn or so. Though to redeclare war, we'll have to redeclare war in Kurun as well. Though, at the same time, it's not a big deal. You know, let's take the money for now. I can always destroy them later. It's alright, Carl. Maybe you'll come back, maybe you'll revive a little bit, maybe you won't. We shall see. And looking good. Tribute gives us control, which does nothing for us, but growth does something for us, so we'll do that. Melee defense for Depth Guard, but more importantly, and this now gives us the ability to
First of the Blood Dragons.
get a few of them up on the field, yes? He requires technology Scourge Strike. How many technologies do... Oh, you need both technologies? Well, that's just rude. Alright, fine. Alright, fine. Hopefully then, we'll be able to get them on the field. Now, Abarash. We need you to hit Eschen, so go this way. I want to probably raise it. But we also don't want to... Okay, wait. We don't want to move. I don't want to accidentally move the wrong way, because we have to get the Castle Drakenhof. And go. Alright, good. And there's another chaff unit will die. You know what? We are slightly hurt now. Might have to manually fight this real quick just to, you know, be careful as the Witch Hunter threat is arising once more. For now, though, I don't like how you're here. What's the likelihood that they take Middenheim as soon as we destroy Middenstag?
Grandmaster of the Order
And we could also just attack and destroy this little elf army. I guess the question will be, I don't want to waste 2 turns though. If we go here, will we still be able to reach Middenstag? And the answer is maybe not. It would be disappointing if we couldn't. This costs 30 movement, it costs 60 movement to get, or 61 movement to get back here. So it'll cost 122 movement to return to where we are. And then 122 leaves us with 18 movement, meaning we will not have enough movement to reach the Middenstag. However, we get a 10% bonus from winning a battle. So maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Alright, you know what, let's do this real quick. Fight this, I'm gonna manually fight this at max speed, because it's a trivial battle, but and we don't want to have the army any more hurt than it currently is. But then we'll fight the Elven battle, and then hopefully, I really want to raise both orders up this episode. I'm really looking forward to that. Alright, start deployment, and does the formation really even matter here? Probably not. And oh, Abrush has reached level 20, so he flies now. Nice. And does he have little bats around him? Alright, that feels a little bit unnecessary, but anyway. Okay, rest of the army, I don't really care how you're formed up, to be honest. Make sure these guys are in the back so that they don't get hurt. These guys are in the front to dish out the majority of the damage, and let's say the hurt units are like that. And like that, I don't imagine the enemy will be too threatening to them, but who knows, why risk it. You can be group 3. Actually, you know what? You can be group... nah, whatever. 4, 5... Spare battle, Abrush go. Group move, and wizard move. All of you go here, go here, go here, speed it up. Go kill the enemy lord. Activate your magics. Where is that enemy lord? Is he here somewhere? There he is. Oh, he's got some Sylvanian crossbows, isn't that cute? Set up the wall of fire. Increases armor piercing damage. There's probably not enough armor piercing here to be all that concerned with it. Do that. And the rest of our army is on the approach. It doesn't really matter the way it approaches. I go this way. Alright, Abrush, keep fighting. Activate your magical abilities, and you know, just pump yourself up with everything you got. Yeah, just activate that explosion ability. Throw down the gauntlet as well, and we're just gonna use him as a caster right now. I just want this particular battle to go by reasonably quickly. You can activate your Forbidden Run, I guess take down those fell bets. Black Knights, just wait. Wait until the infantry arrives, I'd rather you not damage yourselves too badly. Drop some of this. And speed it up to max now. Alright, a little bit of damage, and the enemy lord's looking to be in bad shape. All of you attack. Black Knights, get ready to move in and hit the enemy in the back now. And the enemy lord is still alive and not much longer. Alright, good. The aspirant's killed him. Let's slow it back down to normal speed and heal up the aspirant as he's gotten a little bit damaged. Pop off another one of these walls. Black Knights, hit these Sylvanians and hit these other units in the back, and hit all of these units. Wait until the wall of fire has burned itself out. Activate your explosion ability and buff yourself up, and the battle should be ours. Lovely. Lovely indeed. Did anybody get hurt while I was not paying attention to the battle, really? Did you actually get hurt this battle or not? Damage sustained. Can't quite tell. I don't see your healing cap. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. Yeah, they're getting a little bit in the way of healing. Good for them. Alright, 1, 2, 3, and good enough. Alright. At least this way we preserved our HP in case we have to fight something. And who knows, Vlad, I believe, has a couple armies running around. If one of them enters Castle Drakenhof, we'll actually have a proper fight of it. And thus we'll have to, well, pay attention. 293 kills. I'm curious how much damage she did after all that casting. 82k, not bad. Not bad at all. Raise the place and stop moving. Another student, lovely, and please tell me we can reach this in one turn. It looks like we can. Just barely, but it looks like we can. Go into encamp, heal up and go. Alright, and I mean, I guess we could build more Bloodkin Thralls if we really wanted to replace all of these guys. We do have both the Martial Valor and... ooh, we can build as many as we want now. I guess we have to wonder how many cav units... oh, you know what? We're gonna have a bunch of heroes in here as well, so it's not super necessary. I do want the Disciples of Abarash camp. No. I mean, I do want it, yes, but we have to prioritize this thing, the Bloodkeep Library. Yeah. Unlocks technologies. The Book of the Ordo Draconis unlocks skill The Lost Sons for Walach Harkon. Honestly, this tells me nothing, but I'm excited about it. Whatever it means. Alright. What does that mean in this particular game context? The Book of the Ordo Draconis. So we don't have Walach Harkon on the field. I'm just checking stuff. Alright. Well, I guess we'll find out by... we'll find out the old-fashioned way. Alright, just kill Elendilling.
They shall fall before my might.
Completely necessary. I assure you. And... you know what? We haven't fought Wood Elves, so we're gonna fight it manually. Well, we're gonna fight it cinematically, just because we haven't fought the Elves yet.
Faithful disciple of Abarash.
Well, it looks like the previous quest battle, the variety continues as we'll get to face off against some Wood Elves, and that's just fine by me. We've got our Vanguard deployed units moving forward immediately, all three of our Blood Dragon Neophytes and Blood Dragon and Knightly units, as well as our Flyers, plus we're gonna pop those Phantoms of Bloodkeep onto the field immediately. Why over here? Because there is a unit of War Dancers here, and they can actually deal decent amounts of damage. There's the area attacks coming in from both the Phantoms and the Blood Knights alike, and those War Dancers are going to have a pretty darn bad day. And even if their damage is decent enough to damage our units of Phantoms, they're summons, so we don't really care. Aelfric will also lead over on this flank, just so that we make sure that the War Dancers die quickly. Walach has already killed off the enemy lord real quick, but, well, that was always going to happen considering his stats. And at least this way the Phantoms get to fight beneath the banner of Bloodkeep one more time. And there we go, our strongest units may have hit this flank, but that doesn't mean that the rest of the battle isn't going our way. We are sort of in deadlock with the enemy Dryads. It's going to take a while to work through them by virtue of the sheer number of the units that they have, but at least they're not going to be too threatening to our Blood Dragon warriors, even if it does take a while to work through them. And there we go, finally our Bloodkin arrived. No Vanguard deployment for them perhaps, but they did book it on over here in time. Gonna summon some zombies on the leftmost flank, since we don't have additional elite units here, but we do have a unit of Blood Knights hitting the enemy Eternal Guard in the back. Walach lands in the middle of the enemy force, and it looks like this battle is just about ours. It's gonna be a real quick one, much quicker than the other three battles in this particular episode, but hey, I just wanted to make sure we fought some knife ears. Alright, one last charge from the Phantoms of Blood, or the First Keep, and there we go. And there we go. With that, the battle's ours, decisive victory. Of course, the enemy was also in March stance, so they were always going to have a very, very bad day here. Alright, perfect. The Wood Elves are certainly annoying to fight, generally speaking. However, because we have so much Vanguard deployment on a decent pile of our units, they're not really a threat. It nullifies their major advantage. I think I'm gonna name some units the next turn, and we can still reach Middenstag. Fantastic. Lichbone Pennant, a research rate student. Okay, we gotta apply these to a few heroes, but you are gonna go to Middenstag. Wait. At war with the Empire, you say? Empire will join your war against the Warherd of the One Eye.
Promises to act on it. Agreed.
That amuses me. They just destroyed the Empire, then made peace with them, then declared war on one of their enemies, just because we could. Alright, go here. We'll need to burn them down to get to Middenheim. And auto-resolve this, because it's trash, and raise it for some metal.
The apex of martial prowess.
Middenheim. Fantastic. And Middenheim will be Ordo Profundum, whereas Castle Ordo Templaris will be Drakenhof. Construct Bloodkeep. Lovely. Alright, our first Ordo Profundum Keep, Lake Outpost. We get the special building in the Library of the White Wolf here, plus... what do we need to... Wait a moment. So this gives us army capacity and the unique library landmark. We are going to give a read to this because I am a sucker for lore and I always will be. The Library of the White Wolf is a prestigious landmark nestled within the heart of Middenheim, the famed city of the White Wolf. The grand repository of knowledge stands as a testament to the glorious history and noble heritage of the renowned knightly order, the Order of the White Wolf. Within the hallowed halls of the library, ancient tomes, scrolls, and manuscripts meticulously chronicle the valorous deeds, traditions, and secrets of the Order. Scholars, scribes, and lore masters dedicate themselves to the preservation and dissemination of this treasured lore, ensuring that the illustrious past of the Order is not forgotten. The Library of the White Wolf serves as a beacon of enlightenment and enlightenment within Middenheim, attracting not only scholars but also aspiring knights seeking to emulate the virtues and combat prowess of the Order. Its shelves are adorned with volumes recounting legendary battles, tactical strategies, and the inspiring tales of heroic champions who once walked the streets of Middenheim. Beyond its vast collection of historical records, the library is also a center of study and mastery of martial skill. Here, aspiring knights of the White Wolf immerse themselves in the teachings of chivalry, swordplay, and the sacred bond between rider and mount. Hey. What about the sacred bond between Ryder and Ulrich? Ancient treatises on combat techniques and mounted warfare adorn the walls, providing a wealth of knowledge to those who seek to follow in the footsteps of their heroic predecessors. The library stands as a testament to the enduring legacy of the Order and its deep-rooted connection to Middenheim. It embodies the city's reverence for tradition, honor, and the pursuit of knowledge. Within its sacred halls, the past intertwines with the present, inspiring a new generation of knights to uphold the noble ideals of the Order and defend Middenheim from the encroaching darkness that threatens to engulf the Empire. Lovely. Though not so lovely now that it's ours. Let's see. Ordo Profundum Seafort. Not on the sea, but it works. And what do we have here? Yeah, that's the library. Another library guardian quest available from that. We will need a new army here to defend it, though. Absolutely we will. Oh, discovery of Skaven Undercity. I hadn't even considered about dealing with Skaven Undercities here. Alright, now, this place obviously can't defend itself, so I think this is probably the best place to recruit those new adepts. Or adept knights. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3. I lied. Probably could have kept that one zombie. But whatever. And you can stay here for 2 turns, Walach. Then... what do we actually have to do to get these guys, to get the new lords up and running? The, Lord Recruitment Unlocked, Depth Guard Lord. Oh, we can't... huh? No, we can already recruit Depth Guard Lords. So what exactly... this Order's Grandmaster will join your faction. There we go. Nice reading, Ruinous. Alright, so we're nearly there. And both for Anarch and for the Abyssal Revenant, just got to get those blood kisses. Which we should be able to do. Now, we do want a Depth Guard Lord here. Once again, it's probably going to be a Virtue of Immortal Disdain. And I guess as of next turn, he'll have to start... Yeah, let's get you on the field. He'll have to start recruiting from Walach, and on top of that, you'll defend Middenheim while Walach wanders elsewhere. You are going to immediately suffer attrition. I'm going to take a look at you. Ooh, looking pretty great. Looking pretty great. Can't wait to see you in combat and what your unique abilities have. You've got some X's available to you. Alright, Monkey Jacket, so it looks like you've got traits from Vampire Coast, which does make sense. You have the Kiss of the Deep passive rather than the Healy passive, which is interesting as well. Without Curse of Undeath, there may be a reason to get another one of the aspirants into your army as well. Dread Revenant Sea Lord is your transformation ability to some dragon form type deal. A Natural Force Incarnate. Passive ability, Depth Guard, direct damage area whenever in melee. Nice. Alright, well, you have your new fort. Keep it, sir. And Abarash, you're heading to Castle Drakenhof for the exact same reason. Let's just make sure that we don't have to do anything else this turn before we go on. Alright, now, I guess we can, you know what? Raid. And... Raid. Alright, I just want the extra metal, because I want to build the other stuff up, and I'd really like to... Oh, yeah, you're going over here. I'd really like to have Abarash get his special building, whatever it was called, upgraded. The Disciples of Abarash camp. And we need the metal for it. So, yeah. We'll keep him a non-moving. Zacharias and Edmund are good, and I believe that's all we can do, so skip. Character initiatives available, building upgrades, and turn. To Drakenhof. And let's see if the enemy tries to defend it. Scrag the Slaughterer, you want peace now too, sir? Counter offer, give us money. Oh, you have no money. Next time, come back with money. That'll buy at least 10 turns of peace. Though now that we have the defeat trait on Abarash, I don't really care so much about Scrag. We have to prioritize the libraries now. And what is this? This is Kazrak. Oh. I'd like to get... Oh no. We won't be able to get Kazrak's defeat trait. Well, that's a shame, because that was probably his only territory. Although the Beastmen... Can the Beastmen recover? I wonder if he had a really good defeat trait for Abarash. What are you doing, Kazrak? What are you doing, man? It's because we destroyed his last Herdstone, isn't it? So is he programmed to try to destroy himself? Because this is obviously a crazy thing to do. I mean, I suppose what we could do if we really wanted to was to fight this manually and then allow him to run away, but there's no guarantee that he doesn't just try to attack us again, so whatever. It's honestly, his force is so weak that it's not worth fighting. Sorry, Kaz. You're just not worth the effort. An ignominious death and destruction for your faction, I imagine. Settlement receives Plague Middenheim. Of course it does. Enemy killed in battle. Defeated Kazrak. Oh, well, this stuff is not stuff that Abarash cares about, but I do wonder if it's... Ooh, nice banner. I do wonder...
Skill and might.
Witch Hunters attack imminent. Perfect. This is the ideal time for it. I do wonder what Kazrak's defeat trait is here. I mean, we can't expect to get every single one. Some lords will be dead. Attribute Vanguard. It's like... That's like the strongest one. What the damn it? Okay, game. Fine. Well, if anything, we should have moved towards Kazrak immediately. That's the strongest one. Attribute Vanguard deployment for everybody in the army. Well, damn me. Oh, at least I got a laugh out of it. Anyway, Depth Guard. Let's get you on the field, huh? And we can immediately get some of you to side grade into these guys. Alright, so I wanted 2 more, but we can't upgrade them yet. Let's do 2 watchers. Deck watchers. Ugh. Cost 800 to upgrade them that way, but they are anti-large. Alright, and then the next 2 will raise the other way. Gotta be careful with our valor, though. Anyway, real quick, head to Castle Drakenhof. Damn, you are worth a lot of sack value. Oh.
Honor or death.
Is this worth fighting? I think this might be worth fighting. It is Drakenhof.
I refuse.
And, ooh, who do we have nearby? Oh, it's just a Zufbar. I was hoping that it would be correct Kadrin. Get a fight with the Slayer King. Damn it, Kazarak, why do you do this, man? Anyway, I think with that, I'm going to call it. We're out of time. We've raised our first Ordo Profundum keep, and we'll be looking to, well, keep it. And next episode, we'll start out by immediately attacking Castle Drakenhof in a cinematic, and I guess not sacking it, assuming we can keep it at tier 2. I hope that we can. And then raising our first Ordo Templarius keep, which will mean we'll have 1 of each available to us. That we'll need to either build a new army or send one of these 2 lords over there to defend it. So, yeah, that's going to be necessary. And on top of that, the Witch Hunters will spawn again, so we'll quickly rack up a little bit of XP, Valor, money, etc. off of them. Then we'll move towards the next keep. There's one at next library. There's one at Mount Gunbed, by the looks of it. And I suppose we can stop on by and defeat Skarsnik. Damn it, Kazarak, why, man? Oh, I should have just chased him off. Oh well. What can you do? And yeah, we'll maybe start moving towards one of the Riptides as well. And oh, we gotta send somebody all the way over here to Castle Carcassonne. And we'll do that with Walach. He can cross the mountains and then burn a path of destruction through Bretonia as he goes to Carcassonne and the library there. Just gotta make sure we don't kill off Aluan and stuff, because there are nice defeat traits on them for Aberrash. Anyway, more Blood Dragons to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially to Threshold. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.